last sermon on self-control. So last couple months we've been talking about that characteristic. And what did we say, what were some things that we used to say that self-control meant to you? Like, what does it, remember what we said that it meant? It's kind of hard not to use control in the word, but to keep your body under control, to keep your actions under control, to not misbehave, to use good manners, to do what's right without somebody having to tell you. That's showing good self-control, restraining yourself, acting maturely. We talked about all those things that were ways that we can show self-control. We're going to play a little game of red light, green light. Okay. So I wrote a couple Bible verses on each side. So on the green light, it's Psalms 106, chapter 106, verse 3. It says, "Blessed are they who constantly do what is right." Okay. Then on the red side, it's Titus chapter 2, verse 12. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age. Okay. So I'm going to give you I'll give you each a stoplight. I'm going to give you just some situations that you might come across in your life, or similar ones than that, and you're going to hold up what verse do you think would go with that. Do you think it would be green for it's good, or red where you need to tell yourself no and display some self-control? Okay. So if your teacher was teaching a math lesson and your friend who's 2 rows over flies a paper airplane to you while the teacher's back is turned, what do? You want to fly it back across the room to your friend. What should you do? Yeah, Luke is like, oh, I don't know. I want to throw it back. No, stop. You want to have self-control. You would not want to throw that back to your friend, would you? Okay? How about there's a rule at school that says do not run in the hallways. And the teacher asks you to take the attendance slip to the office, and a group of kindergarten students are coming out of the library, and you know that you should set a good example for them, so you walk. Is that showing good self-control or not showing good self-control? Yes, good. So it is. It's green. It's showing good self-control. How about during worship service, your cousin passes you a note asking where your family is going for lunch? This sounds so familiar in my room. It says she wants you to write her back. You are so hungry. You tell her that you hope you're going to Burgerland. Is that showing good self-control or not? No, you're a little more focused on your lunch than the sermon, right? You see a video game in the store that you've been wanting for a long time. You beg your mom to buy it for you, and she says no, and you stomp your foot and you yell at her, "You never buy me anything." Good self-control or not? How many of you have done that? Yeah? Okay, while you're riding your bike, a stranger calls you over to his car and offers you some candy. You know it might be a trick. You ignore him and you ride home quickly. Is that showing good self-control or not? Or are you going to go get the candy? I want to say stop. Okay? No, you wouldn't want to go. You ride home quickly, so go. Yeah, go. Sorry. I didn't mean to say stop. All the other kids at the movies throw their cups and their popcorn boxes on the floor when they're finished eating. You think about the person who has to clean up that mess. Kind of like moms and dads. When the movie is over, you put your trash in the trash can. Did they show good self-control or not? Good. Okay, at church camp, a counselor brings a cooler full of canned pop. You are hot and ask, "May I have one?" She answers, "You can have all you want." So you drink one, and then another, and then another, and then another. Sound like canteen? Okay, so do you show good self-control? So you keep going back for more, even if your stomach's hurting. You keep going back and getting more. Is that showing good self-control? No, it's not. So those are just some examples, and you might come across some, so I want you to keep those Bible verses and just think about those when you're coming up to things that are tempting to you, and you might want to do something that you know you're not supposed to do. Just remember the verses that we need to show good self-control. I'm going to share kind of the story of Jesus' crucifixion and how he set the best example for us of how to stay in using our self-control. So Jesus came to earth on a mission. His mission was to save the lost so that everyone who would obey him would have hope of eternal life. He was on the earth. He taught people about God and he healed the sick while he was here. However, some of the Jews, especially the religious leaders, did not believe that Jesus was the Son of God. His teachings made them angry. In fact, they made plans to have him killed. The Jewish leaders brought Jesus before the court of the Jews. There, many false witnesses came forward and lied about Jesus. Were they showing good self-control? No, they weren't, were they? But what did Jesus do? Did he yell back at them? Did he tell lies about them? No, he kept quiet. The high priest questioned him some more, then declared that Jesus should die. Some men spit in Jesus' face. Did he spit back? He didn't. Would that be hard not to do? To not to want to do something back to somebody who's doing mean things to you? But Jesus did. Other men even hit Jesus and made fun of him. But Jesus did not lose his temper. Again, showing great self-control. Then the Jews took Jesus before Pilate, the governor. Pilate asked Jesus about all the things that the Jews were blaming him for. But again, Jesus kept silent. This amazed the governor. Pilate wanted to let Jesus go, but the Jews insisted that he should die. So Pilate gave in to them, and then they had Jesus beaten with a whip. The governor's soldiers took Jesus away and gathered around him to make fun of him. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him as if they believed he was a king. Then the soldiers made Jesus a crown of thorns. They knelt down in front of Jesus, pretending to worship him. "Hail, King of the Jews," they said, but they were just making fun of him. Again, even though people around him were sinning, did Jesus sin? He didn't. He didn't do anything back to them. He displayed unimaginable self-control in those circumstances. And it got worse. The guards spit on Jesus and hit him on the head again and again. Then they put Jesus' own clothes back on him and led him away to be crucified. Crucifixion was punishment for criminals. Was Jesus a criminal? No, he did nothing wrong. He kept his composure, again, just showing amazing self-control. Even when Jesus was on the cross, the Jewish leaders yelled mean things to him, and they said, "He saved others, but he can't save himself. Let him come down now from the cross, and we will believe in him." But Jesus did not come down from the cross. He could have, because he was the Son of God. He had the power of God, but Jesus knew that if he didn't die on that cross, then his blood could not save us. He did what God wanted him to do, instead of getting even with those who were being mean to him or beating him. So again, Jesus was our greatest example and showed the most amazing self-control in those circumstances. He didn't get mad. He didn't get even. He knew that he was meant to do that, and he knew that God had sent him to do that job, so he did it. So we need to follow his example in our everyday life and show great self-control in the things that we do and the things that we say.